Duino Elegies, the property of Princess Marie von Thurn and Taxis Hohenlohe, from the Castle of Duino. First Elegy. Who, if I cried, would hear me among the angelic odors? And even if one of them took me suddenly to his heart, I should be absorbed utterly in his stronger being. For beauty is only the dawn of a terror that we still are just able to bear, and which we adore because it serenely disdains to destroy us. Each angel is terrible. And so I restrain myself and stifle the heart cry of desperate sobbing. Alas, who is there will come to help us? Not angels, not men, and the clever beasts are already aware that we do not feel too securely at home in this interpreted world. There remains perhaps some tree on a slope we daily see again. There remains for us yesterday's pathway and the clinging constancy of an old habit that liked us and lingered and never left us. Oh, and the night, when wind from the world space bites our faces, for whom would she not stay, the longed-for, mild, disillusioning night? To which of the lonely hearts is she painfully imminent? Is she kinder to lovers? Alas, they only conceal their lot with each other. Do you not know yet? Fling the emptiness from your arms into the spaces where we breathe. The birds, perhaps, will fill the expanding air in quickened flight. Yes, the spring had need of you. Many a star beckoned for you to perceive it. Many a wave would lift toward you from the long ago, or else perhaps a violin was sounding as you passed by an open window. All this was a portent. But did you comprehend it? Were you not always distracted by expectation, as though all this foretold a loved one? Where will you keep hidden all the amazing, strange thoughts of her, coming and going, often remaining through the night? But when overcome by longing, sing the great lovers, not yet in their fame sufficiently immortalized, those whom you almost envied, the forsaken, you found so much more lovable than those whose longing was gratified. Begin ever anew their never adequate praise. Think how the hero endures. Even his downfall was only a plea for existence, his ultimate birth. But lovers are taken by exhausted nature back to herself again, as though such creative force could not twice be exerted. Have you thought of Gaspara Stampa? Any maiden who had forever lost her lover could feel from that far more intense example of loving. If only I could become as she was. Should not all of our old unending sufferings be yielding fruit by now? Is it not time, in loving, to free ourselves from the loved one and quivering endure, as the arrow endures the bowstring, to become in the gathering outlip something more than itself? For nothing is fixed forever. Voices, voices, hear my heart, as once only the holy heard, till the resounding call lifted them from the earth. But they still remain kneeling, undistracted and undisturbed, in their attention so intensely they listened. Not that you could endure the voice of God, far from it, but hark to the sighing, the uninterrupted tidings growing out of the silence, drifting now to you from those youthfully dead. Whenever you entered a church in Rome or in Naples, was not their fate always quietly speaking to you? Or else an inscription gloriously impressed you, as recently the tablet in Santa Maria Formosa. What do they wish of me? I must remove gently the semblance of suffered injustice that hinders a little, at times, the pure adventure of the spirit. How strange it is to live on the earth no longer, to use no longer the customs that we have acquired. Roses and other things that for us are tokens of promise, not to interpret in them the pledges of man's future, to be no longer all that we once were, all we have achieved, with hands endlessly anxious to lay aside even one's own name like a broken plaything. Strange not to wish, not to continue wishing. Strange to see all that was once in relation loosely fluttering in space. To be dead is difficult and full of incompletion before one is conscious of even a trace of eternity. But the living make the mistake of drawing too sharp distinctions. Angels, it is said, are unaware often whether they move among the living or dead. The eternal torrent sweeps all the ages on through both realms and sounds above both forever. Finally, they need us no more. The early departed, one outgrows earthly things as one is gently weaned from the breasts of a mother. But we that have need of such mighty secrets, we, for whom grief is so often the source of blessed progress, could we exist without them? Is the legend in vain? How once, mourning for Linus, earliest venture in music pierced non-barrenness, and in the shocked space, whence a youth who was almost godlike, had suddenly departed forever, emptiness first felt, the vibration that now enchants and consoles and helps us? Duino, 1912.